Hello and welcome to what may be the most annoying round 50 challenge that I'm yet to attempt. Shieva only. Call of Duty Zombies, since its inception all the way back in 2008, has always started the player with a crappy pistol and 2 wall-buy options in the first room. These weapons are not particularly good at all and only really serve the purpose of getting the player through the first handful of rounds until the box has been found and maybe some perks have been acquired. Now, in my opinion, there has at least been one starter wall gun in every iteration of CodZombies that is halfway to decent. We are just sticking with Treyarch titles in this video as this intro is already long enough. World at War had the carbine, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 is quite a debatable one, but the M14 is where it's at. Black Ops 3 is also quite a debatable one, but personally the RK5 is the better pick, and Black Ops 4 has the Strife. Games from here on, being Cold War and Vanguard, allow players to spawn with specific weapons, which kind of voids wall guns early game. This leaves the other guns, the not too great guns, the Kar 98, and if you think I'm doing around 50 with this, you can eat my... I'm sorry, I don't really know what overcame me there. The other weapons in question are the Olympia from Black Ops 1 and 2, the Shieva from Black Ops 3, and the Essex from Black Ops 4. Alright, now we've got our intro into war guns out of the way, let's get into the main reason why you're all here. The Shieva. Round 50s are challenging enough even when using optimal weapons and perks, so I knew I had my work cut out for me, which meant the map I chose for this had to be something that would even the odds, a map where I would at least have a chance, and that map is Ascension. Ascension is by far one of my favourite maps and also one of the most iconic zombie maps, and today it was going to be my lifeline. Now the first attempt was definitely something, alright. I decided that staying in the starting room until I had the points to activate each lander was the play. That was until round 3. I grabbed myself some quick revive and get to work, only to take it down quite literally no more than a minute later, to which I promptly decided to hit a restart. The second attempt, however, went much smoother as we managed to make it a whole 5 rounds in the starting room before leaving. I do know that there's a strat in the starting room where you don't leave and you train around the landing pad, but that's a strat that relies on gobblegums such as Pegaholics, Wall Power, and Bullet Boost, and I really like trying these challenges without using gobblegums, or at least at first I don't like using gobblegums anyway. And yes, I know I could do that strat without gobblegums, but I don't fancy spending God knows how many hours doing a first room Shieva only round 50 with no gobblegums. Like, no thanks. So we made our way up to power to get things rolling, and then I took it down on round 6. In my defense, I hate training in this spot, but for some reason I guess my brain just had other ideas on that day, and we decided to train there. Don't know why. We managed to recover, I mean I should hope so, it's round 6, and by the end of round 6, we have 1 out of 3 landers done and our second spin of quick revive. Round 7 was the monkeys, and this was one of the main reasons I picked this map. If you can complete a monkey round without any of the monkeys laying a single finger on any of your currently active perks, you will receive a free perk. Considering I only had quick revive, this one was pretty straightforward. We take out the monkeys, and we're left with a free perk power-up. Here I was hoping for some goodies, double tap mainly, as you can only get this via Gobblegum or Wonder Fizz, and we got Mule Kick. Like, of course I would. The one time this perk is actually useless to me, I get it. With 2 perk slots left, there was only really 2 options, so on round 9 we got ourselves some Juggernog and Speed Cola, and this round 50 was fully underway. In between getting our 2 final perks, I also got the landers done and Pack-a-Punch opened, and on round 11 we Pack-a-Punched the Shieva, getting us none other than the cum gun. Look, I deadass struggled trying to say that word for a whole 5 minutes, so cum gun it is. I also got our first AAT whilst we were here, which was Thunderwall. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Round 12 was another monkey round, and another chance at a free perk, this time hopefully being double tap, and it was Deadshot. Like, of course it would be. I'm not a Deadshot hater, but when there's a chance of double tap, Widow's Wine, and Stamina Up, you can't not be a little bummed out at Deadshot. The next few rounds were business as usual, and I know you're probably sitting there and thinking to yourself, Satch, didn't you say this was the most annoying challenge you've ever done? And yes, I did. And it starts right now. Round 17. we have a third monkey round. I've already fleeced these space monkeys of 2 perks, and I was ready for perk number 3. But oh boy, the monkeys had other plans. You see, the monkeys hit me with the old bait and switch, the oldest trick in the book, and I fell for it. Whilst I was making my way to Speed Cola to take out the monkeys there, the rest of them headed for Jug. By the time I noticed what they were doing, it was already too late, and the monkey stole my prized perk, leaving me with the most botched perk setup you're ever going to see, consisting of Quick Revive, Mule Kick, Speed Cola, and Deadshot. Sure, I could have popped a Perkaholic, but where's the fun in that? Prior to the theft of my Juggernog, I was attempting to train in the starting room, but I've never really had much luck with that strat, and now without Jug, there was no chance in hell I was going to continue that. So I headed up to the trusty landing spot where Widows resides, and I got to work. The first course of action was increasing my firepower. Now, I would have loved to have done this with Thunderwall, but with my lack of health and skill, there was only one thing that was going to save this run, and that was Deadwire. With our newly acquired wonder weapon, I went to town. These lower round zombies stood no chance against my Shieva Wonder Waffle. My Shieva Waffle, if you will. The Shieva itself was also still putting down good damage even once we crossed into the 20s, but the real challenge would begin with the next monkey round. You're starting to see the pattern here, right? Who was going to tell me that these space monkey shitheads turned into the goddamn Hulk once you cross round 20? Luckily, I had insta-kill for the opening few enemies, but for the rest, I was just slinging bullets at these guys for fun and just expecting the next one to be the kill shot, and it just never comes. The amount of bullets and patience needed to take these guys out was ridiculous. Granted, the Shieva isn't the most powerful, but holy hell. And then for the next 4 rounds, it was smooth sailing once again. I was becoming more confident in killing regular zombies the higher the rounds than killing the monkeys. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But it finally happens on round 27. The moment I had been dying for. The monkeys are back, and they take my Mule Kick. The stupid perk plagued my game for 19 whole rounds, but no longer. And with that, we got ourselves Jug. No more panic the second I got hit, and I was about ready to thrive. But as all good things, that wouldn't last. As we crossed into round 30, I can see that the Shieva is really starting to struggle, and 99% of my kills at this point are coming straight from Deadwire. And then around 32, we take our second down of the game, which is once again the goddamn monkey's fault, as the little bastard stole my quick revive right at the end of round 31, leaving me trapped in the starting room. With no quick revives left, it was struggle time. Jug and Speed were immediately the first perks I repurchased, and I knew if I was going to even have a chance of pulling around 50 out of my ass, I needed double tap. And literally the first spin of the Wonder Fizz on round 32 spits me out what I needed. Double tap. I also then went and bought stamina because that perk is goated. With a couple of close calls and 2 tedious monkey rounds later, we finally made it into the home stretch. Round 40. Round 50 being only 10 short rounds away, I was basically in touching distance. This was it. But I die in round 41 and everything that I worked for the last 90 minutes is pretty much worthless. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, leave a sub, and let me know in the comments what agonizing challenges I should do next. And as always, I shall see you in the next one.